I'm Chelsea,
And I'm Jenny.
and this is Death and Gardening. Okay, so today's going to be a lot. We're going to go through the 7 Cleopatras of ancient Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah, it's intermingled with the Ptolemy line because they married each other throughout the dynasty. So it's a lot of brothers and sisters, ancient Egypt, marrying each other, which was, because I was curious as to why they did that. It's because Osiris and Isis were siblings, and they had the divine marriage, and so it was to emulate that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The clans of Ptolemies and Cleopatras were brutal. You will see some savage family affairs that happen. And yeah, it was plagued with inner familiar struggles for power.
Okay.
All the time.
It's always power.
Always power. So we will start with Cleopatra I, also known as the Syrian Cleopatra. She was the first woman, ancient Egypt in the Cleopatra line anyway, to take over guardianship of a young king and be recognized as the regent.
Okay.
She was known as benevolent and reasonable, a true ruler of Egypt as regent of her young son from 180 to 176 BCE.
Okay.
176 BCE being the year of her death. This was a rather peaceful period for the country, which was lovely, especially with the years to come. And the trade was intensified also. After her reign, the female element in guise of a mother supplanted the kings in the administrative documents and even some pharaoh reliefs that were made. Women, queens, were also no longer limited to guardianship of an underage king after her rule, or nearly equal partnership with the king. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
All right.
They this is the beginning of them taking a more prominent role. Obviously, due to traditions and things, as we'll see, they still had a partner, a joint co-regent, but things were getting better. And that is where we're starting.
Okay.
Because all of the pharaohs before them, there were plenty of wars and poisonings and assassinations and murders and yeah. But we're going to just stick with this line. It is deep history, which I would highly recommend if you are interested in Egypt at all, looking into it, because it's also very interesting. It's fun to read. I was going to say lovely, but some of the things are less lovely. But
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is her bust.
Okay. So pretty.
Next would be Cleopatra II, daughter of Cleopatra I, born in 185 BC and died in 116 BC. I put BC because it switched back and forth between BC and BCE, but yeah.
Yeah.
Suffered through 2 difficult reigns in her own time, whereas her mom had it relatively easy with nice peaceful. No, she didn't get so lucky, unfortunately. She had a lot of political and dynastic struggles that she had to deal with. The first reign was from 175 to 164 BC. Married her eldest brother, Ptolemy IV, the Philometer. Some of them have extra little surnames after him.
Right.
We'll also meet a Cleopatra Selene as well.
Okay.
So, in 170 BC, she was also declared formal co-regent to their youngest brother, Ptolemy VIII. Euergetes Fison. His is weirder. But yeah, so the eighth and the oh, actually, that's the fifth. My bad. So Ptolemy the fifth, Roman. Give me Roman numerals all the way through this history. So they reigned as a trio, just a sibling trio.
Okay.
They did the trio until 164 BC, and then Cleopatra II is said to have reigned for 57 years in total on her, just for herself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That feels like longer than most life expectancies.
Right. Yeah, back then I was seeing things like, oh yeah, they lived until 69 and all this. I was like, that's interesting. I figured they would have passed sooner, given how far back it was. But guess not, but also the perks of being royalty. The siblings' maternal uncle tried to invade Egypt in 169 to 168 BC and ended up giving up. There was a whole battle that, happened where he came in, he wanted to take over. He gave up, and Cleopatra and her husband, she was only married to one of them, and then they were just kind of all jointly together and ruling.
Yeah. I've never heard of a trio ruling.
Right.
So that's weird.
From the rest of this, that looks to be, I think, the only trio of siblings in this chunk, at least, that ruled together, even for a short period of time.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, because normally it's just the duos, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Nice they could compromise and, like, do that all together and not kill each other.
Yeah. I'm surprised they got along that well, for the most part, which is nice. Unfortunately, Cleopatra and her husband were deposed by the youngest brother, but ended up coming back into power in 163 BC. So they did have some disagreements.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, this is, where it starts to get, the drama starts to kind of amp up with the family line of Cleopatra's and Ptolemy's. It's with the second and her brothers, and then so forth.
Oh, okay.
Ptolemy the Eighth was then removed when they returned from the co-regency in Egypt and ended up becoming the king of Cyrene. After Cleopatra's husband and older brother's death in 145 BC, Cleopatra II agreed to marry her younger brother, the eighth. And she ended up producing one heir, at least, Ptolemy Memphis, in 143 BC. It's a lot of these over and over and over, and just numbers for which one's which. So, Cleopatra II produced Ptolemy Memphis in 143 BC. Ptolemy VIII, Cleopatra II's younger brother, who lost the co-regency, married his niece and Cleopatra's daughter, Cleopatra III, between 142 and 139 BC.
Love that.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Great.
I know it happened a lot. It's
yeah.
just so sometimes hard to understand. Yeah.
Yeah. It's to keep the bloodlines pure.
Yeah.
But then also, represent the gods, which I get.
Mm-hmm.
Together, Cleopatra III produced 2 sons, future kings, and 3 daughters, which is assumed to have fueled the heated rivalry between Cleopatra II and Ptolemy VIII.
Oh,
He
okay.
lost the co-regency, and they kind of really don't like each other,
Yeah.
like at all. And you'll get to see even more why. Like, this rivalry was wild. Cleopatra II led a rebellion against Ptolemy VIII and Cleopatra III, forcing them out of Alexandria at the end of 131 BC. It said Ptolemy VIII had his nephew, Ptolemy Mephites, the son of Cleopatra II, dismembered and had the pieces delivered to his older sister as a birthday gift.
That is savage.
When I said they got brutal, I was not kidding.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously she didn't like that. As one
No.
would.
No. Wow.
She, the second, had sole rule in Alexandria until 127 BC, when Ptolemy VIII expanded his power, forcing her to flee to Syria, where she joined her daughter Cleopatra Thea and her son-in-law Demetrius II Nicator. In 124 BC, Cleopatra II and Ptolemy reconciled. Don't know how or why, but they did. Where they ruled jointly together and with her younger daughter until Ptolemy died in 116 BC. So they reconciled. He was already together with Cleopatra III, and so they kind of did another trio-ish co-joint ruling.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how you reconcile from dismembering your nephew, but
No.
whatever, I guess.
That's wild.
Just another day, I don't know. When Ptolemy VIII died, he left the rule of the kingdom to Cleopatra III and one of their sons. She was to choose whichever one she wanted, but one of them. She exiled Ptolemy the Ninth from Alexandria, though she had preferred him as her king, but because of traditions and because of, like, it was either him or she was like, well, I could just go solo, and the armies were like, no, we want the older brother. And so, begrudgingly, she chose the eldest.
Okay.
Yeah, out of fear of, like, full rebellion and revolt.
Okay.
Yeah. Cleopatra III, her mother, and Ptolemy the Ninth, or no, 10th, sorry, ruled jointly with her son and mother until her mother ended up dying, Cleopatra II, in the year of 116 BC. After Cleopatra II died, the third had her mother's names and titles omitted from all new inscriptions so that after her death she would never be venerated as a goddess in the temples of Egypt. The struggles for power were real.
Wow.
They were ruthless with each other. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Cleopatra III's rule lasted from 116 BC to 101 BC. So
Okay.
a good chunk of time. And she was sister to Cleopatra Thea, which is important later. So Cleopatra III, and this is her. So the second is this lovely, very kind of strong-willed looking lady there.
Right.
And this one is supposed to be Cleopatra III.
Okay.
So Cleopatra III seemed to have no love for her eldest son, which, to be fair, she was forced to pick him as her co-regent.
Yes.
She didn't want to do it. And therefore, things were a little tense. It's noted that the king's nickname ended up being Chickpea, which I will be referring to him as for the remainder of reading about him. And it could have been given to him by his mother as a sarcastic mockery.
All right.
Yeah.
There are worse nicknames, but that is pretty funny.
It's great.
Yeah.
Cleopatra III was reluctant to truly accept her eldest son as co-ruler, and in turn, he ended up marrying his sister, Cleopatra IV, who is said to have been just as ambitious and strong-willed as their mother. Because of this, Cleopatra III forced them to divorce.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, she didn't want the competition. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, she had him marry her youngest daughter instead, which is Cleopatra Selene. And the thought process and what is assumed is because she was younger, therefore she would be easier to manipulate, get to go along with her word, more malleable, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than her very strong-willed daughter who was exactly like her and would probably end up usurping eventually anyway. Yeah.
True.
Exactly. So she's thinking ahead. She's like, no. Cleopatra gave her son the title Philometor, or mother-loving, out of mockery. She did not like him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so the king is supposed to have some religious titles and like go through all these. No, she wasn't having any of that. Though he tried to make a name for himself, and though religious roles were traditionally reserved for pharaohs, Cleopatra III assumed titles such as Mistress of Two Lands, Daughter of Ra, and unconventionally female Horus, and female ruler. One of the more unprecedented titles was Priest of Alexandria. Yeah. She fully embraced and embodied both the masculine aggression of a warrior king and the feminine sensibility of a nurturing mother and living goddess. Yeah.
Okay.
She definitely portrayed more of a kind of ambiguous figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems a little unpredictable. You never know which side you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. But she was able to play the king part just fine.
Yeah.
In 107 BC, Cleopatra III came to the conclusion that her son needed to go.
Oh. Yeah, as one does, I guess.
It's just tale as old as time at this point. But yeah, she decided he needed to go. And in doing so, she was one for dramatics. She had a rumor spread throughout Alexandria that Chickpea tried to have her killed.
Oh.
She put on all the theatrics, including hysterics, in the public face, went out and preached her case, and even had self-inflicted wounds.
Okay.
Yep. The act worked. The people of Alexandria rushed to kill Chickpea, causing him to flee. This made his brother, the original one that she wanted, Ptolemy Alexander, who had returned from Cyprus, their king. Yep.
Well,
she got what she wanted in the end.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. It's all messy. Family drama.
Right? Yeah.
I guess if you ever think your family drama is bad, just think back to ancient Egypt and be, it could be worse.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
And Cleopatra III had her new co-regent marry his brother's now ex-wife. Because Chickpea had escaped with his life, he made it his mission to retake the throne in Egypt and destroy his mother's power. Because of this lovely tumultuous relationship of vengeance and wanting to get back at each other, there was a war
Oh.
in Syria with Syria. The casualties from that war ended up costing Cleopatra her own daughters.
Ooh.
Cleopatra ended up marrying off her sole surviving daughter, Cleopatra VII, who was still with them, to the king there. And Cleopatra VII would end up marrying 2 further kings after him, just surviving the deaths of all of her kings.
Wow.
And being the mother of the last Seleucid king. So she's just off doing her own thing.
Yeah.
In 101 BC, Cleopatra III and Ptolemy X, or had Ptolemy X, marry his niece, which is also great. The daughter of Chickpea and Cleopatra the IV. In October of 101 BC, Berenice, which is her name, became co-ruler and assumed the throne named Cleopatra V, Berenice III, being the first of the line to take the name Cleopatra on her ascension of the throne.
Okay.
So she wasn't born a Cleopatra,
Mm-hmm.
but she did take it as like a title to continue the Cleopatra line.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she was the first one to do so.
Okay.
Let's see. Ptolemy X ended up, the one that Cleopatra III loved oh so much,
Uh-huh.
ended up murdering his mother before she could murder him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just a... Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So she still ended up getting murdered by one of her children and her, sons in the end.
Yeah.
Just not the one she was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's never the suspecting ones.
A Roman author, Justin, wrote, "She richly deserved her infamous death because she had driven her own mother from her marriage bed." Yep. Overall, even though she brutal lady and did not like her son at all, which is just still so fun. She had a very keen eye for bureaucratic detail and carefully maintained her own kingdom. And she was a brilliant propagandist.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. She was a successful king who just happened to be a woman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we move to Cleopatra V. So she's the obscure queen. There's not a lot about her. Documentations of like the 5th and the 6th kind of get a little messy and inconclusive, and so
Okay.
there's a little bit though. While her husband's reputation plummeted, so Cleopatra VII was beloved. She was the quiet one. She was the nice one. She was the one who was the younger one that her mom was like, no, marry him, it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
She just kind of took the back seat and was like, okay.
Okay.
And just did the things and watched the theater play out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her husband's reputation plummeted because he murdered his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. And Cleopatra V was popular as ever. It said that she was modest in her behavior, which is also a very stark contrast to Cleopatra III.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was reverent with the gods, both Greek and Egyptian,
Oh.
while simultaneously giving the influential Jewish population of Alexandria its dues and that she did what she could to limit Egypt's foreign involvements.
Wow.
So she was kind of an anti-war queen a little bit,
Yeah.
in a way. Sort of trying to bring back the peace of the first Cleopatra. The Alexandrians grew so disdainful of Ptolemy X that he was driven out into Syria twice.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the second time, he did take Cleopatra with him.
Oh.
Yeah. But he died.
Okay. Well.
Because of course he did. They
Yeah.
always do. So he lost his life in battle. And she ended up making her return to Egypt with her father and now husband, Ptolemy the Ninth, in 88 BC. Yeah. Because remember, the brothers switched places, so yeah, now... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with her father husband.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know that also has happened. I just don't like it.
They reigned from 88 to 80 BC. Ptolemy using the admiration for his wife-daughter to his advantage. After his death in 80 BC, Cleopatra V was left to rule alone, but due to the weight of tradition, she had to choose a partner, unfortunately. So she married Ptolemy the 11th. Son of her previous husband.
Mm.
So her nephew.
Okay.
For keeping the family line straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
After only ruling together for 19 days, Ptolemy the 11th assassinating Cleopatra V.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
This enraged the Alexandrian people,
As it should.
and they avenged her by killing him.
Okay. Well.
This ended the legitimate line.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, Ptolemy had 2 illegitimate sons. So, like, cool. So, enter Ptolemy the 12th.
Gosh. Okay.
Ptolemy the 12th married his, and I have this in parentheses because this was unclear, and this is where I was like, yeah, it gets messy because there's documentations, they're like, oh, this Cleopatra and this Cleopatra could be the same one.
Okay.
Like, maybe this one survived, and then this one... So, it's a little unclear, so I have married his daughter, sister, unclear.
It could
but
be both.
Yeah.
Well, no, but yeah.
But Cleopatra the 5th, or no, Cleopatra the 6th, Tryphonia.
Okay.
To them, Berenice the 4th was born. The other brother was made king of Cyprus, because there were 2 illegitimate sons. So the other one was king of Cyprus and ruled that from 80 BC to 58 BC, annexed later to Rome after the king's suicide by poisoning.
Mm.
Cleopatra the 7th,
Yay!
the one we all know, was born in 69 BC from an illegitimate union of Ptolemy the 12th. Because, of course,
Mm-hmm.
Cleopatra the 6th fell into disfavor as queen and left the political life for over 10 years.
Okay.
Ptolemy the 12th was forced to leave Egypt due to his wasteful bribery. And in turn, the Alexandrians put Cleopatra the 6th and 7th on the throne.
Mm.
An embassy of Alexandrians later traveled to Rome, being killed in Puteoli by order of the king. Even his leader, the philosopher Dion of Alexandria, poisoned in his host's home. So, yeah. It's not great.
No.
See, poisoning is...
Right?
So lots of them.
Yeah, all over the place.
Ptolemy XII returned with a Roman expedition to Egypt, killed his wife, Cleopatra VI, and her supporters, and then chose Cleopatra VII as his co-regent. So now Cleopatra VII.
Yay.
The one we all know. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of her history because we know it. She is, when you think Cleopatra, she is the Cleopatra that you think of. But we will get into some of it. After the death of her father in 51 BC, she ruled successfully until 30 BC with each of her brothers and then her son. She and these are just fun facts. She and Julius Caesar became lovers. She was also in Rome when he was murdered in 44 BC. In 40 BC, Cleopatra gave birth to twins, whose names I have written here, whose names I love because I do. I love them so much. It's Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene.
Oh, okay. That is pretty.
The moon and sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sweet. 3 years later, so after Julius Caesar died, Mark Antony ended up returning to Cleopatra because he needed her support, her financial support. Yeah, because he had questioned her also in the past after Julius Caesar died to figure out, why were you here? What is your role in all this? And she arrived with like boats full of gifts. She's like, I did nothing. So he needed her financial support for his postponed Parthian campaign. In return, Cleopatra requested the return of much of Egypt's eastern empire, including large portions of Syria and Lebanon, and even the rich balsam groves of Jericho. Yep. Antony and Cleopatra spent the winter of 32 to 31 BCE in Greece. The Roman Senate deprived Antony of his prospective consulate for the following year, and then it declared war against Cleopatra.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Because why not?
It's the Romans. It's the Greeks, actually. Roman Senate. No, it's the Romans. Yeah.
I mean, there was just war everywhere.
It's also, yes.
Yeah.
If it's Greek, Roman, or Egyptian, there's a war happening, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. September 2nd, 31 BC, Antony and Cleopatra fled to Egypt. Cleopatra retired to her mausoleum as Antony went off to fight his last battle. And then the tale of he received the false word that she had died. And so he fell upon his sword. Yeah. In a last excess of devotion, he had himself carried to Cleopatra's location and died there. Which is interesting and romantic in a way. In a way. Cleopatra buried Antony and then ended her own life. It's believed that she killed herself in a way that a lot of the royalty did, which was by asp. But there's another theory that she had actually had a drug cocktail of opium, wolfsbane, and hemlock.
Oh.
Because it was faster and less painful and a quicker way to go.
Yeah.
Which she would have knowledge of because I got to find out while researching this. Cleopatra studied poisons a lot.
Oh, okay.
She would test them on prisoners. She would experiment to see how much was needed to kill someone. And what the effects would be. Oh, yeah. For science.
Yes, just science.
She experimented with several things, from venomous animals to plants to minerals. So anything in the realm of poison. She was like, okay,
Right, let's find out.
let's see.
Yeah.
It's noted that she would perform these experiments before her husband at the time, Mark Antony, as a form of entertainment. And then there's there's an excerpt from a Baldwin project that I would love to read because it's wild. Antony was not entirely at ease, however, during the progress of these terrible experiments. His foolish and childish fondness for Cleopatra was mingled with jealousy, suspicion, and distrust, and he was so afraid that Cleopatra might secretly poison him that he would never take any food or wine without requiring that she taste it before him. At length, one day, Cleopatra caused the petals of some flowers to be poisoned and then had the flowers woven into the chaplet which Antony was to wear at supper. In the midst of the feast, she pulled off the leaves of the flowers from her own chaplet and put them playfully into her wine, and then proposed that Antony should do the same with his. And that they should then drink the wine, tinctured as it would be, with the color and the perfume of the flowers. Antony entered very readily into this proposal, and when he was about to drink the wine, she arrested his hand and told him that it was poisoned. Just wanted to see if he'd do it. Oh. You see now, she said, how vain it is for you to watch against me. If it were possible for me to live without you, how easy it would be for me to devise ways and means to kill you. Then, to prove that her words were true, she ordered one of the servants to drink Antony's wine. He did so, and died before their sight in dreadful agony.
Oh. All right.
Yep. So yeah, she like, for science, poisons and things, and just wanted to prove a point that if she could, she would.
I mean, and that's fair, but yeah, that's...
At least she didn't kill him in the end. She's like, hey, no.
Yeah.
But yeah. And that is the Cleopatra that we all know, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I didn't know so much about the poisons. I know she was associated with snakes a lot of the time, but I also figured that was just an Egyptian royalty kind of thing. And the death by asp.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I think that's how I've always seen her, is portrayed her, lying somewhere with the snake nearby, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's... What people are theorizing is because of her knowledge of poisons and her experiments that maybe she didn't actually die by asp and she instead chose another way out.
Right.
Because she knew what asp would be like. She's like,
yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Those are the 7 Cleopatras of ancient Egypt.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot of familial turmoil and distrust and power struggle and war and dismemberment. And
yeah, that came out of nowhere. I did not know that one.
They really didn't like each other.
Yeah.
Those two in particular really didn't like each other. It's fine. Chickpea's fine.
I don't think chickpea's fine.
Mother-loving chickpea is fine.
Oh, I'm going to find a way to insult somebody using that.
Yeah. Also, with that, and Cleopatra dying, that was the end of that line.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, she, as far as I could tell, I don't believe she had any children, really. Or if she did, they might have died too early to rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I pulled it all together.
Yeah. No,
with
that
the
was
drug
great.
cocktail of hemlock and wolfsbane. But yeah. And the experimental poisonings of servants and prisoners.
Yeah.
It's assumed for entertainment. Could have just been for science. Could have also been for entertainment, depending. From what I've read here, she sounds like that kind of lady where it could have just been a little sadistic.
Right. Not in the like gladiator way of watching people beat each other to death, but like actually figuring out how things work and kill people at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just have also kind of an audience to see what happens.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts?
I-
A lot.
Yeah, there's just a lot of everybody and lots of numbers. Lots of Ptolemies.
Lots of Ptolemies. More Ptolemies than Cleopatras.
Yeah.
12-7? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like men die first often
Well,
back then.
oh.
Being kings, high targets, though, so,
yeah.
yeah. Marching
Yeah.
off to war will do that a lot of the time,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed my presentation of the 7 Cleopatras and their wild history and families and what they did with their power and how they conducted themselves and the stark differences between Cleopatra III
Yeah.
and her I am the goddess ruler compared to Selene being like, no,
Right.
we'll just calm down. Everything is fine.
Right? Maybe if I just chill out, I won't get assassinated.
And then gets assassinated anyway.
Right. She tried.
She did try. She did well until it was the end, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that ties well into the book that I'm reading about. I think it's called, like a murder happened on the way to the forum or something like that. And it's just a bunch of Roman deaths and murder and stuff. So yeah, when you were like, Caesar, I was like, oh yeah, I just literally read about that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also fun to think that, yeah, the times of Cleopatra and her reign was also the same times as Mark Antony and Julius Caesar and all of that. Oh, wait, she did have a child. Oh, I remember this now. She had a child, and it was, she called him Little Caesar.
Oh no.
Whether or not it was legitimately Caesar's child was unconfirmed.
Oh my. Okay.
But yes. That's the child she had, I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget that they were alive at the same time. I know her and Mark Antony because that's just the story
Yeah.
of, you know, the two of them. It's always together. But yeah, I forget about Caesar being the same time. Or Julius Caesar.
Yeah, I
'cause
saw
know
your
there's
face
lot
for a
of
second when I was like,
Caesars.
oh yeah, they were lovers. And you're like, oh. Yeah.
So many things happening at that time.
It was a wild time in history everywhere in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see about next week what fun times we come up with.
Yeah. We will see.
Take care of yourselves and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.